Hi, thank you so much for tuning in as always. On today's episode, I'm going to be talking about how to do your due diligence on a land seller. It's a very important topic. You're watching Own Land in Kenya, and I'm Solomon Wangwe. So you've identified your piece of land that you want to look into buying. It's located in the right place. You like the vibe, you like the ambience, you like the environment. And now you have to engage with the land seller. How do you make sure that you're dealing with the actual land seller? And how do you prevent issues of fraud or getting conned? I've covered a little bit of this in previous episodes, but this is a very common question. And one of the points in this whole transaction process that keep people from actually making investments, the fear around how to make sure that you're dealing with the actual land seller. So I'm going to give you some quick pointers on how to do that based on our experience. So the first thing you want to do, especially if you're dealing with a broker before, so you were working with an agent or a broker who was showing you various properties and you've identified this one, the first thing you want to make sure you do is ask to meet the landowner in person. There are no ands, ifs, or buts about this. If you can't meet the land seller, walk away and find something else, right? Ask to meet the land seller in person. Once you've done so, ask them for their documents. Ask for an original ID in person while you're there with them. Why? Because you want to make sure that the face on the ID matches the face that you're looking at. I know it sounds like a stupid point, but it's critical. I know people who've lost millions of shillings because they paid the wrong person. So ask for their original ID. Don't accept photocopies because those can be manipulated. Ask for the original. Make a copy of it if you can before you leave. But even if you get a copy later, at least you saw the original and you can confirm that it's a copy of what the original actually looks like. Secondly, you want to ask for the certified copy of PIN certificate. You want to know what their PIN number is. The reason for this is because land in Kenya and everything around property is linked to PIN numbers because of the stamp duty component of a land or property transaction. You have to pay duties or taxes to the Kenya Revenue Authority, and that's always linked to a PIN number. It's a great way to filter off fraudsters. So ask for a certified copy. Why a certified copy? Because only lawyers can certify copies. And if a lawyer colludes with someone to misrepresent themselves, then you have an added component to hold people accountable. Most lawyers, at least the ones I've dealt with, will not certify a document unless they have actually viewed the original. So get a certified copy of the PIN certificate. This is a critical issue. Third thing you want to do is ask them for the original copy of the title deed to the property that you're considering buying. Again, simple reason, you want to make sure that the names typed on the title deed match the names as they are on the ID and the PIN certificate. If the names do not match, even if it's for a spelling error, you have a major issue. So, for example, my name is Solomon Wangwe. If I'm selling you a property and I show you my ID, it says Solomon Wangwe. But the title deed says something like Solomon Mangwe. So it has an M instead of a W for Wangwe. Legally speaking, Solomon Wangwe and Solomon Mangwe are two completely different human beings. And you will not be able to transact on that purchase. So you want to make sure that you can view all the original documents and that the names match on each one of those documents, because if they don't, you have two options. Number one is to walk away and find something else. Number two is to go through the process of correction of name or name change on any one of those documents. Usually it's easier to change the name on a title deed than on an ID. So you need to be sure before you engage. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck. The other thing you want to do in this process is ask to meet the seller's spouse. According to the new constitution, after 2010, when it was promulgated, you cannot sell land anymore without your spouse's consent. This is a common problem in Maasai communities, Turkana, Samburu, even parts of the coast in Kwale and so on, where patriarchs, especially men, husbands, would sell off family property without consulting with their wife or wives. And then you have problems later because the family was not aware that their inheritance was sold off. So constitutionally now you need spousal consent to buy or sell land. So make sure you ask to meet their spouse or spouses. If the man has several wives, make sure you meet every single one of them. If they're not all in agreement about what's about to happen, you need to walk away or convince them to get on the same page. You can't afford to have surprises creep up on you later because you could lose your investment. The other thing you need to make sure you do as you meet the spouses is meet every single child aged 18 and above. That means they are adults. Typically, they will be carriers of national IDs. The reason for that is because adult children today can block a land transaction if they feel that the parents are misusing their future inheritance. So you need to make sure that all the children who are adult are also agreeable to what is happening with the land that you're considering buying. So please don't forget that. First thing you want to make sure you do is ask for original documents, the ID, the PIN certificate. You want to see the original title deed, and you want to meet the spouse or spouses, all of them, and every child over the age of 18. Don't forget. I hope that information helps. If you have any questions, any further questions about this, or you have comments to make, please feel free to reach out to us, www.goshenacquisitions.com. You can reach out to us on Facebook or any number of our social media platforms. Don't hesitate to do so. You've been watching Own Land in Kenya. I'm Solomon Wangwe, and stay tuned for more information on strategic land investment.